So hanging out at the Indie Games area at TGS, and I'm here with Matt Kelly.
Hey.
Who are you?
I'm just some guy who just attached himself to this about 6 years ago, and no, I'm a developer at Mokomoto Games, and I was very kindly invited along today, which has been lots of fun.
It's been very, very fun, and we've had a bunch of games. You've played some particularly weird ones. We'll get to some of those. I guess to begin with, one of the first games that you jumped on was Sky Tracers.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about Sky Tracers, Matt.
So Sky Tracers was this really cool, basically a running game where you're having to get simply from A to B in a competitive environment via a route of your own creation.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's a weird kind of like open world area where you have it's parkour, but it's like jetpacks and like insane parkour, and it's competitive.
Yeah.
And like, how did that feel?
So something that really got me at the start was that we were driving all of this action through just a single button. And to me, that was really impressive. Like quite often these, anything that's kind of a little bit parkoury is either incredibly automatic or overly complicated to play. But this was really straightforward, and you just get into it. And there was a few moments where, the thing that got me was how much nuance there was to the controls as well. So when I started failing about halfway through when I was playing it, I got stuck in this one section, but I was playing it feeling, this is on me, not the game. And that's always kind of a really satisfying moment when you understand the rules of what's happening and you know this is where I need to improve to complete this.
It was really, really cool to watch. I really enjoyed that. I also had a chance to jump onto Hazardous Journey, which is like a mobile game where you're like walking around as a cat in these environments that are like kind of top-down-ish, what was the Melbourne game by the Mountain Studio, Ken Wong? I forgot the name of the game, but it was, you know the one I'm talking about.
I do. I can't.
But no one remembers the name.
Either.
It was a very kind of like abstract, top-down game, and it was, I think, really, really simple. Puzzle platformer is like. It wasn't like a platformer, but the whole point of the game was from you getting from A to B. You're collecting stuff along the way. You need to activate switches. You need to get on, different platforms and not fall off the stage. And so that was really, really fun, really cute, really simple on the iPad as well. You also got to try My Child Lebensborn. What was that about?
Oh wow, that was like, in terms of taking your TGS hype from about 100 to 0.
0 in no time flat.
And just depressing the hell out of yourself. It really struck me like that game. So the pitch of the game is that it's kind of a little bit of a Tamagotchi game, except you are looking after a child who is the son of a Norwegian mother and German soldier father.
And this is set after World War II?
Yeah, so it's set after World War II.
Also, just going to quickly clarify, when you said Tamagotchi to me, I thought literal Tamagotchi kind of style. It's a visual novel.
No, that's the thing. It's like you actually have little controls that you've got to like take him to the bath and then scrub him and put Band-Aids. So the intro of the game is your kid has come home completely filthy, and he's talking about, these kids beat him up. And you're like, oh, that's so bad. And they're like, so what's a Nazi? And you're like, wow, okay, this game is not pulling any punches. And in chatting to the developers, like they are so passionate about putting some light on the situation that happened in Norway
and
after the war.
Telling it right, because they like reached out to people that kind of lived in that situation, I think.
Yeah, so, for me, it immediately, like I said to you earlier, for me to kind of be like, yes, this game, like it has to do something that just kind of, it doesn't have to be amazing production values or, wholly new original mechanics.
It needs to give you a reason to play it.
And immediately I empathized with this kid and I was like, wow, your life has gone so horrible and I'm going to try and make it just 5% better for you right now. And I felt for this.
100 to 0, definitely. But I mean, there are a lot of games around. There's so many games, like even next to like a PAX Rising or something, there's so much more than that. And this isn't even in the main hall. Like it's got its own separate area, so you can kind of sit down, have a chat with the devs. And I mean, it's not a quiet area, but it's quieter than the main halls, which is good. And there's even more stuff around. So that was the Indie Games area of TGS.